Oh, we're back now. A study released by JAMA says teens that use cannabis, alcohol, and nicotine are more likely to experience adverse mental health effects.
Yeah, researchers found elevated incidence of depression, suicidal thoughts, and ADHD in teens that used substances. Joining us to help break this all down is licensed counselor Tiffany Williams-Brooks from the Harris Center. Good morning, Tiffany.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me again. I'm so glad to be back with you guys, although it's a really serious topic.
Yeah, difficult conversations that we have to talk to our children about. But first, let's talk about this study. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, the study was done, it was actually released last week, and the study stated that teens who engage in substances such as nicotine, alcohol, and marijuana experience some mental health symptoms as compared to other teens who do not engage in substances. That's a big concern.
So is it the mental health issues that are sort of leading these children to the drugs and alcohol, or is it the flip? They try the drugs and alcohol and that's what leads to the mental health issues?
Yeah, great question, Owen. Actually, there are several reasons why we see that teens engage in substances. One of those reasons is that it's peer pressure. Teens at that age really want to be accepted. They want to be in the cool crowd. Right. And because they want to do that, they may follow that crowd. Another thing is that there could be some underlying mental illness concerns, but it's undiagnosed. And they use substances thinking that's going to help them, but it doesn't. Another reason why you may see them engage in substances is family influence. You may have a parent or a family member who is using substances and you think, okay, it's okay to do that, but it's not okay. Some parents say, well, I use, but I tell my child not to use. No, you have to set the example for them. But those are some reasons why some of the teens actually use substances.
Yeah, it's unfortunately we say do as I say, not as I do, but kids are just always watching us. They're
Absolutely.
always watching us. What are some signs that parents should pay attention to first that they may be dealing with a mental health issue?
Yeah, great question. Some of those signs might be a change in behavior. You may notice that your child who used to be engaging and socializing may not be so engaging with you as the parent or with other friends. So they may be isolating themselves. Also, you have to also watch the sleep patterns. There could be some teens who are struggling with the sleep, maybe not sleeping as much, maybe sleeping too much. Those are signs. Also, even the appetite. If you're noticing that your teens who used to really eat and they're not, and they're like, I don't want to eat anymore, that's a concern. Along with that, you might also have some teens that may show some physical symptoms. You may see a change in their weight, maybe a decrease, increase. Also, concerns with the academic performance. If you have teens who are decreasing their academic performance, maybe the teachers are calling you, addressing some of those concerns, that's a big concern with your teens. And that may be a sign to you as a parent that you need to seek help for them.
I think traditionally, when we think about teens and alcohol, there we go, teens, 13 and up, maybe 8th grade, but definitely high school. But you're saying we need to start thinking about this maybe as young as elementary school age.
Absolutely. Owen, I know that you guys had a recent story about some of the middle school children using substances. We have to start earlier. We did say 12 years old, but I'm going to say at 9, we need to start educating our kids about substances. There's so much out there, and they need to understand that.
How do we, for a 9-year-old, would you say, how do you have that conversation? Where does that start? What does that look like?
Yeah, I'm going to say for any of your children, whether it's 9, whether it's a teenager, you have to be really open talking with your kids. You have to be approachable. You have to set it up where they feel comfortable coming to you. They're already on the defense. We can't be defensive as parents. We have to be open to that. We have to also listen to our kids. Sometimes we get in the struggle of, hey, I'm the parent, I know better, but we have to listen to our kids and respect that. That's really important. Another thing that I would say is really engage with your kids. What do they like? They like TikTok, they like music. Go ahead and try to do that with them. They need to know that you're interested, that you care about them. Those are some of the things that we have to do. But I will tell you, it's difficult. raising a teenager. But you got to be there. You really have to show them that you're involved and you want to be involved.
I feel like there's a fine line between having that honest conversation and I just want to scare them to death.
Yeah.
I just, is that okay?
Well, Owen,
Because we don't want to be dishonest
Right.
either. So how do we?
I'm going to tell you, one of the ways that we can really connect with our kids is to be very honest with them. Even if you show them the story, hey, this is what happened, at least you're educating them and you're making them know that, hey, I'm open to talk about this. We have to do that. We have to let our kids
I think
know that
my
we want to
worry,
talk.
it's like practically you say to a 9-year-old, it's like this happened to another elementary school child. They ate something, they didn't know where it came from, they
Right.
thought it was candy, and it made them very sick. And I guess my worry is that now I have my child, everything they pick up wondering, but maybe that's okay.
Yeah, but I'm going to say it's scary. It really is as a parent. But we have to let our kids know that they have to be careful. Again, 9 is so young, but we need to educate the kids. We need to make sure that our kids are safe and they understand what's out there, because there's so much out there right now.
And obviously, social media plays a big role in just, people being able to contact your children at all times of the day. What would you say to parents to control that social media access?
I will say, because I have a teenager myself, you have to check their social media. You are the parent. You have to set some expectations for them. You have to let them know that, hey, I'm going to check it. I'm going to look at that. Don't be afraid to do that. Some parents think that, hey, they're on their social media, I could let them do it. But you're the parent. You have to let them know that you're going to check it. You're going to check into that, and you should really know the friends of your child. Get to know those parents of those other children so that you could really be involved there with your child.
Very easy for a stranger to find their way in
It's
these
so
days through all the
dangerous.
platforms. And there is, at least, in our opinion, we talk about this a lot. There's no right to privacy for my child on a
Absolutely.
social media app on the phone that we pay for.
Yes,
Right?
absolutely.
Exactly.
We really want to give them the independence as teen because they're kind of in between childhood and adult, so they want to establish themselves. But we have to set those expectations for them. We have to show we care about you. That's why we want to know. It's difficult because teens are difficult, but we as parents have to protect our kids.
Yeah.
All right, Tiffany Williams Brooks from the Harris Center. Thank you so much. If folks are watching and they want to contact you, how can they get a hold of you?
Absolutely. The Harris Center, 713-970-7000. Also, they can Google us at theharriscenter.org. We provide services to children, adolescents, and adults.
Tiffany, thank you
Wonderful.
again for being
Thank
with
you.
us.